Today, Precarious plays
1080 Snowboarding.
Okay, ready.
Last one, is there anything that you want to do today?
No, I just want to keep playing this game. I know that that's what I said at the end of the last recording session that we did on this, but it's true. I just really like this game, like genuinely. I want it on the Switch. I can't have it on the Switch. Maybe we can find... I don't know. Maybe I should just suck it up and play it on the Wii U more often. But it's just not as convenient for me, so I forget things. But I really like it. I especially like the controls, and I think the only thing that would make this game more fun for me would be a better controller with a taller, more sensitive stick. Like, ugh. Because as we've been recording today, like while I was playing and, you know, going through things, there were several moments where I forgot.
Like hell. Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. There were several moments where I forgot what I was up to. You know what I mean? Like, it really... I think that this is a prime example of, you know, getting in flow while you're playing video games.
Like fucking hell!
Shoot, who is it? I think it's Jane McGonigal.
Yeah.
Do you remember her? She's this researcher, and she does a lot of research on games and flow and gamification of things, and she's just both augmented reality and oh shoot, it's AR, and what's the other one?
VR?
No, it's not that. She's not so much for VR. Like, augmented reality implies that you are putting sort of an overlay onto it, but then there are games that improve reality. And I don't remember what it is, but she works on things like those schools that you'll hear about that run on a gamified curriculum to where everything is like missions and points and discoveries and tutorials for learning skills that you then repeat to progress along your skill tree. You know, it's like fantastic ideas like this. So she's written a lot on the state that a person gets into when they're really, really enjoying like a pro-social game or enjoying time with a game when they're in flow. And this is exactly that. Like, this game, when you're in it, it is super fun. And it just washes away everything else. And then you just focus on, you know, making things happen. And it's fascinating. And I also really just like the environment. I think that this had a huge advantage over Wave Race just because I like snow better than beaches. But what about you? How are you feeling?
Tricks!
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. I was trying to take up some airtime for you. But
Are you a trick? Then I don't have anything to do with you.
no, not a trick. This is no deception.
Begone, not trick. Only tricks around here, thank you.
Oh, whoa. Oh, yeah. Okay. It is, I have to say, it's much more fun watching you run the trick attacks than the time attacks. Or not the time attacks, but the races. I forget what they're called. Woo!
It counts. It's fine. Haha. best score now is mine. I feel like there's a small problem that I'm sensing here, though.
Yeah.
I feel like... So the idea is probably that every time you can jump, you should jump and try to fit the most expensive trick that will fit into that space as you can, right?
Yeah, that does sound appropriate. Yeah.
So I have a funny feeling that if I were to watch like a trick high scorer, not montage, like a demo, right?
Yeah.
Someone showing off. I have a funny feeling that it would be like a lot of short hops and melancholies and Leonaires, you know, like this.
Yeah.
Like that probably fills like a lot of space for people that are trying to get like the absolute highest possible score.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, that might get to looking pretty frantic. So I told you about my disappointment with this, right?
Oh, you think that it doesn't look like a dragon, and I maintain that it probably looks like a dragon from above.
No, I don't. It's too...
There was no method to my madness.
This is the only dragon part of it right here with the torches shooting down this bridge. I mean, I was like, oh, fire. That's good, right? That's what we want out of a dragon situation.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's cool. Oh, I don't like the texture of these puffy
Oops.
snowscapes. I like the nighttime. Don't do tricks if you can't land them.
I've got to try, or I'm not going to get enough points.
But don't you lose points when... Well, no, let's...
But all that really matters, honestly,
Well,
is
you can't lose points you've already gained, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
the only tricks that matter, really, for me, for my purposes, just trying to set a new high score, it's a combo. It's getting 2 linked tricks because you get 500 points, and if you do just even like one of the 300 pointers plus your default one, that will get you almost at that. You can get pretty close to 1,000 points, is my point that I'm trying to make. Okay, so what is the most efficient way of getting there?
Ooh, I have never gone on this part of the thing.
Man,
Those rails, that looks like just a really great way to eat shit. Like, oh my god.
I'm going back to Ricky Winterborn. He was born in the winter. He is the winter. Call him Jack Frost.
Call him Ricky Winterborn.
You know what? You know what's some real crap?
What?
They wanted to make like a little, like more of a little background narrative in 1080 Avalanche and Wave Race Blue Storm.
Yeah.
And they wanted to have one of the characters, like, either Ricky has a crush on one of the girls, or one of the girls has a crush on Ricky.
Okay.
And that's fine. It makes enough sense. They're all young and athletic. That's regular. That's
I
normal.
would think it would be difficult to not develop a crush on somebody in these situations when everybody's like young and athletic.
And it's like, oh, that's so cool. I'm really impressed by the capacity they have in the same hobby that I like. It's neat. But the thing that I don't like, because it's crap, is somebody on the team decided that it was very important that while everybody else between games only like 2 years pass, Ricky inexplicably ages to the point where he's older and taller than her.
Why?
Because they're assholes.
Okay.
Is my professional opinion on the subject.
You're gonna eat that fence.
No. I got the combo.
You got the combo. You got the points.
And they knew because they give you an out. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna
take advantage of that again.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I can state enough how much I am pleasantly surprised by this game. You're like, you want to play 1080 snowboarding? And I was like, yes, I like snow. And that was the entire thought process. And also because we're kind of on this kick of like sort of racing games, not quite racing games. I mean, this is a racing game, sort of. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with sort of racing games. Yeah, wow, you got 2 500s. This curve is stupid. Like, every time I see it...
needs to go home.
Yeah.
Because it's drunk.
Every time I see it come up, I'm like, that's not right. But...
All right, Ricky. Just stay the course. Come on, man.
Every time you say Ricky, it reminds me of BMO when BMO had...
Ricky!
Ricky! My beautiful Ricky! Ooh.
Okay. Ricky is also drunk and needs to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just everybody needs to go home.
You have to be a certain kind of crazy to...
No. I gotta go for it.
You gotta do it.
Yeah,
you can do it.
The only way.
You go. But you have to be a certain kind of crazy to do things like this, which I admire, because I do not often find it in myself. Like, I used to know people who had these extreme sports as a hobby, and I used to, like, spend time with them. So there was plenty of opportunity for me to, like, decide to skateboard or something, and I was just like, I can see you all learning the sport. And I don't know if you know this, but usually as you're learning to skateboard or snowboard, you tend to bust your whole self up pretty regularly.
Like that?
Yeah, like that. Only
this is Ricky's first day.
Much gentler than that. Honestly. Much gentler than that, but even like just falling off of anything and hitting part of a face, a face component that just didn't seem like worth it to me.
Oh, how much time do we have?
Oh, I think that we're at the end, but we are in the last episode.
Okay.
So if you want to extend this just for the sake of...
What's the goal? Do any 2 tricks. So do any trick that's more interesting, and then fit in a neutral B, and it will give you the points. Come on, Ricky. Work with me, man. More interesting trick, B. No, Ricky!
Why didn't you do it?
I don't know. More interesting trick, B. No. One more time.
Okay.
It's like sometimes he just doesn't do it. And I don't understand the conditions, because it's got to be more complicated than that. But I don't know if it's like... Okay.
I mean, this reminds me, the other thing that's so genius about this game... Really?
One more try. It only counts if you make it out of... Don't laugh! It only counts if you make it out of like the first 15 seconds of the course.
Yes, I agree with you. I just think it's funny because of how many times you said one more. Shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so part of the genius of this game is that it feels a lot like you are mastering a physical process. I mean, I may not have been into skateboarding or, team sports, but there were lots of things that I have learned that require you to get it into muscle memory. Mm-hmm. In a way that involves, a lot of... I don't know how to put it. This kind of thinking. Like, where is my body? Where is the next object? And at a certain point, you use the thinking to get to the repeated action, and then after you can perform the repeated action based on thinking about it, you then try to think about it as little as possible. It becomes part of what you're doing, like breathing, like riding a bicycle.
You brought it around?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I can just get 2 or 3 more of those before the end here, then get an okay time. Nope, that was an opportunity for a big one and I missed it.
I have to imagine that there are games like this now that I'm just missing.
It's giving me like sour cream. Yeah.
Yeah. But I have to imagine that there are games like this now.
Yeah.
That I'm just missing because, like we were talking about earlier, the field is just crowded, you know?
Oh, no, that was actually really close. If I had done one more good one, that time was really good.
I think that we can be okay with that, though.
2nd place, okay.
Do you want to do one more episode?
No, we're gonna do a Rocky-style freeze frame ending, where we just leave it ambiguous. Just like with Mega Race. There will just be a version of me that is just still snowboarding to this very day. So here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is there anything?
Do a little jump.
Is there anything poignant that you want to say at the end here?
Oh no!
Like what's some of the
turn
theme?
It into a joke.
The theme is jumping in the snow is fun. Winter Olympics is better.
It's really weird watching people swim, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It feels weird. It doesn't look like much. It's just like all of these ripples going across the pool.